Imagine being torn from your homeland by the brutal claws of war, only to find solace and connection through the magic of storytelling on screen. That's the heart-wrenching reality captured in Khartoum, a vibrant documentary that sheds light on the human spirit amid Sudan's ongoing crisis. And trust me, this tale of resilience will pull you in deeper than you expect. This film brings together 5 remarkable Sudanese individuals: a dedicated civil servant, a charming tea stall owner, a courageous resistance volunteer, and 2 resourceful street boys who scavenge plastic bottles for a living, to weave together their personal recollections, aspirations, and innermost dreams. Created by a team of Sudanese and British filmmakers who've also been uprooted by the conflict, Khartoum blends heartfelt oral narratives, carefully staged reenactments, and innovative visual elements. It had its world premiere at the Berlin Film Festival and is now showcasing at the 69th BFI London Film Festival, which wraps up this weekend. The directors behind this project, Rawia Al-Hag, Ibrahim Snoopy, Anas Saeed, Timea M. Ahmed, and Phil Cox vividly portray the emotional journeys of these everyday heroes: the bottle-collecting buddies, Locane and Wilson, the devoted volunteer, Jawad, the tea seller, Kadmala, and the civil servant, Majdi. Right from the opening, we learned that the shooting was interrupted by the eruption of civil war between the Sudanese government and the Rapid Support Forces in a coup that forced over 10 million people from their homes, including every single person featured in the documentary. Through their stories, these 5 share their fears and dreams with raw honesty. Jawad admits, "I'm terrified I might never see my home again." Kadmala reflects on a deeper issue, saying, "We really have an identity crisis, as some Sudanese identify strongly as Africans, while others embrace an Arab heritage." Majdi ponders aloud, "Have I been a coward or a brave man?" And the 2 young boys put it simply, "The rubbish is our treasure, plastic bottles are our gold." It's a poignant reminder of how war strips away the ordinary, turning survival into an art form. But here's where it gets controversial. In a world quick to label and divide, the film's exploration of Sudan's identity crisis raises eyebrows. Is national identity something fixed? Or does it shift with circumstance and conflict? And this is the part most people miss: how filmmaking itself becomes a tool for healing and understanding across borders. During a chat with the Hollywood Reporter at the LFF, directors Al-Hag, Cox, and participant Hadmullah opened up about crafting Khartoum through relentless obstacles like warfare, displacement, and logistical nightmares, and their ambition to foster empathy and recovery for those beyond Sudan's borders. It began as a poetic tribute to the city of Khartoum before the conflict hit, Cox shared. But it transformed into something entirely different. A creative masterpiece forged in the fires of war. Everything was smooth sailing at first, until the fighting erupted, forcing us to redirect funds to evacuate everyone. Over the next 4 or 5 months, we all fled to Kenya. To keep production alive from afar, they turned to clever techniques like green screens, reenactments, and even drawings by the boys. "We had raw footage from before the war," Cox explained. It dawned on us that the real stories lived within our participants themselves. Tracking down the right voices wasn't straightforward. The biggest hurdle was locating children we could safely and ethically film, Al-Hag told THR. There are countless street kids out there, but finding 2 who were approachable and feasible was rare. They eventually discovered Locane and Wilson on Khartoum's outskirts. "The next challenge was shooting them on the streets," she added. Even with official permits, locals were wary, uncomfortable with filming kids outside school settings rather than in a controlled environment. Cox noted how the turmoil of war unexpectedly forged a diverse team. "These are folks who might never have crossed paths otherwise," he said. But losing everything meant we all huddled together in one room on mattresses. Behind the camera, our directors span various genders, ethnicities and faiths. Yet we united as one. Al-Hag agreed, adding a personal touch. As the only woman in the group, I felt a bit apart initially, knowing little about the others. But the sheer force of the crisis in Nairobi bonded us tightly. Kadamala, who runs a tea stall, was recruited by director Anas Saeed, a regular customer. He approached me one day, saying he needed someone for a film project. I said yes. But the real test was winning over my family, she recalled. I enlisted friends to film a persuasive video and spoke directly with my mum. In the end, she came around. Reliving her experiences on camera proved emotionally taxing. I carried a lot of trauma, Kadamala admitted. Every take had me in tears, unsure if I could even speak. Al-Hag emphasized the collaborative spirit. We varied in film know-how and skills, but we merged them like a family to craft the final piece. Completing the film wasn't just a finish line. It sparked new horizons. It's the dawn of something fresh, Al-Hag said. We're still displaced, many of us in the same Nairobi neighborhood, rebuilding lives anew. Cox wrapped it up by calling the documentary a catalyst for change among us all, and a deeply therapeutic experience for viewers, especially Sudanese audiences who've longed for authentic representation on screen. Now here's a thought to ponder. Does art like Khartoum truly bridge divides in identity and conflict? Or does it sometimes oversimplify complex cultural tensions? What do you think? Does highlighting Sudan's African versus Arab self-perception challenge stereotypes? Or might it inadvertently deepen them? Share your views in the comments. I'm eager to hear agreements, disagreements, or fresh perspectives that could spark a meaningful conversation.